So what I want to do with you guys today is give you a couple key tips to how to be more productive in your life. So the first one that I want you guys to write down and take out a pen and paper and put down in your notes is simple. You need to have a calendar. So the biggest thing that I coach all of the entrepreneurs I work with and all of the high performers is simple, is that you have to have a calendar. You can have a paper calendar. I've used a paper calendar for most of my life. Now I exclusively use Google calendars. So if you get an opportunity and you don't know what that is, you need to go Google it, right? But what I want you to do though is once you have it and once you have a calendar, that doesn't mean it's actually gonna work for you. The reason you want to have that in the first place is so that you can use it to track your schedule. And I work with a lot of entrepreneurs who have zero plan of what they're trying to accomplish in the day. Okay? So that's the first one, is get a calendar and actually use your calendar. Number 2 is you want to pick the 5 things that you really want to accomplish every single day, weekly and monthly. And anything more than that's going to drive you crazy. Sometimes I'll see people with a to-do list and their to-do list has 20 items on it. And I'm like, there's zero way you're gonna hit all 20. So it's psychologically been proven that if you have a to-do list and you actually achieve everything on that list, it actually gives you a dopamine hit and you feel more accomplished. Versus the opposite, if you have 20 and you only accomplish 5 or 10, even 10, you don't feel like you succeeded that day. So which one would you rather have? Would you rather get 5 awesome things done and feel amazing? Or would you rather have this list of 20 that you absolutely aren't gonna get done? Even if you think you're this awesome, productive person, it isn't going to happen. So if you have that list of 20 or 10, you need to cut it in half today. Just do it, just trust me, try it. And you can always, once you get the 5 done, you can always start going into the next list, but do not over plan yourself. Number 3. You need to focus 60% of your time on the 5 things on your list. So I actually learned this from another high performance coach, Brendan Bouchard, and he talks a lot about this in his book, High Performance Habits, okay? And what he talks about is that a lot of people spend their time on millions of other things that have no value to their day. So what I'm gonna give you is the tip he gave me when I read his book, which is that you need to spend 60% of your time on everything that's going to make you way more productive and successful for the day. So if you're an entrepreneur, which is what I typically work with, you need to focus 60% of your time on revenue generation. The other 40% can go to anything else, admin and all the other stuff. Realistically, what you should be doing if you're an entrepreneur is delegating. And we'll talk about that here in a second, okay? So that's tip number 3, is spend 60% of your day knocking out the top 5 things on your list. Now, obviously, you're gonna have other items that you need to get done, and that's where the other 40% goes to. Number 4, you have to wake up early. You have to have a morning routine. Literally, go watch any successful person. And when I say successful, I'm talking about multimillionaires, Tony Robbins, Mark Zuckerberg. You can look them up right now. Every single one of them wakes up early. Now, when I say early, early is different for everyone. For me, I wake up at 5 a.m., okay? For you, it might be 6 a.m., it might be 7 a.m. Here's the deal. You absolutely need to start your day off early. If you do not, you will waste a huge chunk of your day. And typically, as you know, what happens is you hit your snooze button 3 different times, and what ends up happening is that you wake up groggy, sad, maybe you don't get what you wanted to done in the morning, maybe you don't get your workout in, and then you're pissed off at yourself again because you didn't hit your goals, okay? So make sure you wake up early. Number 5 is do daily check-ins. This is huge. And the reason for this is that if you can't do your own daily check-ins, then you absolutely need to have an accountability buddy, or you need to hire a coach, somebody who can actually track you and help you track yourself. But what a daily check-in looks like for me is I do it at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. every single day in my workday, and it's just simple. I want to make sure that I'm actually on target to get my goals, the top 5 things done by the end of the day. If I'm not, then I have to reevaluate my next section of my day and make sure that I get focused. It also allows for me to kind of restart the day. So what I do in my daily check-in is I typically take 10 minutes and I do a quick meditation, I take a breather, I go for a walk, and then I come back refreshed, ready to go. Sometimes I take a nap. Number 6 is you have to plan to plan. So I see it all the time. Everyone comes to me that I work with. I've even had people come to me before I became a coach a few years back, and they would say, Matt, how the heck do you get so much done in your day? And I would say, listen, I plan out how to plan. Now, they go, well, Matt, I don't have time to plan. And I'll go, that's your problem. So the biggest thing you have to do is this, is you have to sit down with your calendar that we talked about in step 1, and you need to plan out when are you going to plan out your week. And then you absolutely need daily planning sessions. So this is one of the things I put into my systems that I run with all of my entrepreneurs that I coach on the high performance end. And I literally sit down with them and we plan on an hour on Sundays and 15 minutes every single morning after their morning routine. Okay? So that's the key, is after you're done with your morning routine. You can also make it part of your morning routine. I choose to do it at the end. Reason is I do not do business before a certain time every single day. Reason is I don't want to start working. As a high performer, what ends up happening, you forget everything else you're trying to do because you need to get your work done. And I wait because I set myself up to have a structure in terms of that. So plan to plan. So the best times to do this is, again, Sunday nights for an hour, and then you want to do 15 minutes in the morning, and if you add 15 minutes at the end of the day just to do a quick recap and check out your next day. I'm telling you right now, if you spend those hours every week, you will be more effective and more productive. Last but not least, tip number 7 is you have to find the things in your life that you hate doing, and you have to delegate or hire someone to do them. Now again, I talk to entrepreneurs every single day. I'm an entrepreneur myself, and one of the things that I discovered is I was actually talking to an entrepreneur the other day, and he's a very successful businessman. He probably on average makes between $300 to $700 an hour, right? Depending on his clients, which is pretty impressive. And I went into his office, and he was literally asking me to do some coaching for him. And I watched as the guy literally was sitting in his office faxing and making copies and doing all this admin stuff. And I sat there and I looked at him and I go, how much would it cost to hire someone on to come in here and do that for you? And we did the math, and it came out to that he could pay somebody, and a really good person, $35 an hour, which again, if you do the discrepancy, even on his low end of $300 that he makes per hour, he was basically paying himself $300 to stand in that room and do the stuff when he could have easily took 10% of that and given it to somebody and saved that time and been more productive. Even if he didn't do anything for his business, he would have been happier. So what you want to look for, guys, in your life is things you hate. So now, non-entrepreneurs that are watching this video, maybe you're like, Matt, I don't need an employee. Listen, in your life, you can easily delegate tons of different stuff. So for me, I hate cleaning. It's just one of the things I don't like to do. I don't like to do my dishes. Now, I do them obviously in my life, but I do have a maid that comes in every 2 weeks to clean up the house. And I also hired a personal trainer to coach me in the gym, right? I delegated the things that I didn't want. I make these videos, I hired a videographer. Now again, I could have spent all the time trying to become an editor, but it's not my specialty. So I hired somebody and I'm able to actually pay them a good salary or a good amount of money, and I don't have to do it. So the thing that you want to figure out, guys, is what don't you like doing in your life? Now again, you might not have the funds or whatever. Figure it out. It might actually give you something to go after and take away in your life. So again, I want to give you guys this last bit of information. If you want to be more productive, the easiest way to do it is you have to have intention. You have to have clarity on what you're trying to accomplish. If you wake up every day and you wing it, which most people do, what's going to happen is this. You're going to get to the end of the year. You're going to celebrate New Year's, right? It's going to be 7 days before December 31st. You're going to start talking to all your friends, and you're going to try to figure out what you're going to do before the New Year's, which we all know is a struggle sometimes. Then New Year's is gonna roll around, you're gonna get excited again, it's the new year, woo, right? And what you're gonna end up doing is creating a New Year's resolution list. That is probably the same New Year's resolution list that you had last year. And then you're gonna get excited, you're gonna go sign up at the gym or whatever it is, and then you're gonna end up, it's March 2019 right now, and you're not gonna have accomplished it. The key to it, guys, is you have to have intention, and you have to know why you're doing what you're doing. And you can take all the tips I just gave you, which I gave you a long list of 7, right? And they're all great tips, but you have to actually track it and you have to be conscious of it throughout the year. And if you're not, you're gonna end up with the same result you've been getting. So subscribe below, guys. I put out a video a week. I'm excited for you guys to continue learning as we go. If you get an opportunity, go to my website, mattbalducci.com. Check out my Facebook page, and I recommend you guys Follow me as I put out a ton of content that is going to benefit you over the course of the next year and help you stick to the things we're talking about. I'll talk to you guys soon.